All right, it's kind of windy. We'll see how it sounds, but got an AC. I think it's the one that we haven't worked on. It's a regular customer of ours, but I don't think I've ever worked on this AC unit. So let's see. The thermostat's blank. Yep, she's off. Let's take a look. Popped everything off. You know what? I forgot my one rule, which is to check the breaker. Completely forgot. We have a 480 system, which I wouldn't be surprised if we're missing power. So, load 24, nothing. Line for 60, if I can get my hands to work. Nothing either. Crap, I should have checked the breaker. Let us check the panel here. Doesn't look bad. Up. Nothing. God damn it, I should have checked that first. Yeah, something's completely off. The disconnect's kind of old too, so. Let us see that breaker. All right, so while I'm up here, quickly make sure all the windings are closed with continuity. You check across each terminal, make sure it beeps. Check each one on the ground, make sure it doesn't beep. Make sure nothing is going to cause a tripped breaker before we go check to see what's going on. Kind of noticed this, but there's no rub out. Hopefully everything else is fine. Alright, so I'm losing daylight. If it's just a flipped breaker, I'm still charging them minimum an hour, and I'll get out of here. If it's tripped, we'll see if it turns back on, and maybe I'll come back in the morning if it runs for a few minutes or whatever, and we'll see what happens. Look at that big boy. What is this one? 200 amp for this train. Pretty sure the other one's like that too. It's a 208 system. That's crazy. Let's see if this one. Slightly smaller, 100 amp. Please, 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 please. Shit. Oh. Damn it. All right, so I had checked. I didn't get any, like I said, shorts or anything, but something's going on. I might just check it at the disconnect and go from there. We're gonna check our line voltage. I should have just done this in the morning, scheduled it, but I was really hoping it was gonna be a bad battery or a low voltage kind of issue, but it's not. All right, so I'm not getting ground up there. I'm about to start disconnecting everything, but not a good sign is that this thing is warm, and they said it's been off for days. So I'm going to check that. Granted, I know it's hot outside, but none of these are remotely warm. So let me start disconnecting stuff. Remove the coffer, the blower. This time I'll leave the disconnect off. I didn't do that last time. And then I'll switch the breaker and we'll take a look at that motor. All right, well, hopefully I'm right. That's not the stupid box. Whoa. All right. Fan motor. God damn it. Now, let's disconnect those. All right, so in case you guys couldn't tell, there was sparks behind me coming from that motor. I couldn't tell exactly. I just wanted to shut off the power. These wires are extremely hot. But I think I'm gonna replace both. It's the one in the back that got really hot and started sparking right away. I don't see any splices or any rub outs anywhere, but something is catching fire there. So we disconnected everything again. Well, now for the motors. Compressor sounded like they came on. We're gonna check again. Okay, compressors come on. Fine. Now let's put the blower back on. I don't know if the blower's bad too. Hopefully that doesn't blow up. Do we have voltage though? Okay, we still have voltage, so that motor didn't come out. All right, so that's good. That was my first suspect because it was warm, running hot kind of, but it's gonna be these two motors now. It's actually a good thing that I came, so I can pick those up tomorrow. I don't have 460 volt motors. We don't usually work on those. This is probably the only customer that has 460. So let me go get a pair in the morning and we'll be back. All right guys, funny enough, I have no affiliation with Blow On at all, but they do give you some hats when you sign up for their or create an account with their app. So we are going to use the app real quick. I'm just curious, if I go into Blue On, I can search or I want to go to package units. We're working on a carrier, and then here I can start typing in the model number. It was a 50TC, I believe. 50TC D12. So you can see there's the unit itself. There's going to be dashes and stuff. So mine has 6A in it. That's the one that I clicked on. It's a 50TC D12. Whole bunch of other numbers and then 6A. So yeah, it's not going to be like letter for letter, but the one I clicked on was 50TC dash D12 is what mine started with, and then it ended with a, well, not ended with, but towards the end there's a 6A in the model number. It's not going to give you the full thing, so click on that. You can see we can click on parts. Here's everything that you need if you were replacing something on it. Like the motors that I saw, they didn't have any labels on them, so I could go, technically I can go in here, scroll down a little bit. Well, actually it was one of the first ones. There's a condenser motor there. So that's going to be a 1/4 horsepower, 1100 RPM, 460 volts clockwise. So it tells you everything there. And you should be able to request it from a supply house. I think the one that they offer here is only through Insco, which we do have an account with, but I don't have like an online profile thing, so I don't know if this would work. If Johnstone had this, I could send it to Johnstone, and I do have an online account with them where I could like pay for it and pick it up. And which I technically do. I just go over to Johnstone's website and I do the same exact thing. But this is like if you don't know what part number you need, if you're trying to find out specific parts that maybe the labels rubbed off. Like I said, the ones I had at the place did not have labels, so just want to verify, you know, the RPM, the different little specs on it. So I'm gonna get those probably universal, because I don't think we have them in stock locally. So I need to get them some cooling. That's our kitchen. So let's get that going. All right, so normally if I'm keeping these in stock, you know, you got to buy the capacitor separate. Kind of just tear it at the handle, shove those right in, that way they always come with it when I grab one. All right, so we brought everything up in this Vito bag. Got our penetrating oil just in case. I have sandpaper in my tool bag. And then we got our drill. Let's get all this stuff off. All right, guys, so we have our motor here. I put these in before for 460. So this one's gonna give us 1075. We're gonna be a little bit off, but it's close enough. We do have to run a 7.5 because the original had a 5 microfarad capacitor, and everything else is pretty explanatory. And if you were to wire this with the original wiring, if you could or whatnot, it does have a 3-wire option. But since I got to run a capacitor anyway, and I don't want to do it any special kind of way, we're just going to do the 4-wire, which is 2 on the capacitor and then 2 on the line. So this one, we're going to need it to go clockwise at the lead end. Yeah, at the lead end, so we got to mismatch these colors. So we're good there. And I don't know if these are going to reach. This one will, this one at the end never does, so I might have to reuse some of the original wiring. All right, so I took off the wiring, fed it through. This is a fan motor pass through. Like I said, this first one should reach. That one, I ended up cutting it halfway, and I'm gonna leave this here in case I need it. You know, the connections look fine to me. I don't see any rub outs or anything. So that was, I think the motor itself was just bad. Locking up, sparking, all that stuff. It was over there. So we're gonna get these 2 out now, pull them out, and get the new ones in. Little elbow grease, but they come off. I don't have to use a puller. Even though I brought the bag, I could have thrown it in there, but got it off. That thing is rusted and gunked up super bad and locked up. So let's get the other one. Just sand it off a little bit so it doesn't get stuck. That's basically what you're doing. It is harder with these shorter shafts. And then if the fan blade is all the way, you know, down. But still, prep it here. Need to loosen this one up. And spray. Alright guys, and if you do struggle with one, of course the one that didn't give me issues is the one that's making me struggle. You just want to hold the blade and then kind of break it free. And that makes it basically breaks it free so you can remove the fan blade. So yeah, no puller. Easy, couple minutes, we're done. So now let's just swap out these motors. Like I said, this one wasn't giving me problems, I don't think, from what I saw. I quickly shut it off, but you can tell they both look pretty worn out. This one's free, the other one's locked up. This one here, it gets stuck there. All right guys, so we got this wired up. I need to run this through the little sleeve. All right, so personally I tape these up. All right, mostly covered for the rain. Then we're gonna start zip tying stuff. I think I'm okay with that there. Alright guys, so remember to put remove your drain plugs on these. For some reason it's already removed at the bottom. So that's going to be right here. If you were putting it up the other way, like this, then you would take it off from the bottom, and then I guess you would reuse it to plug this one, because most of the time it's on both sides that you have to, you know, remove the one you're using. But I don't know, for some reason this one already had it removed. So now we are clockwise. And this is probably going to be like way at the bottom. So let's test that first. All right, everything's back in, secured. Everything looks good up there. Now my wiring, I did have to use some wire nuts. It's whatever there. So I ran the browns over here. Each one has a capacitor, 2 wires on that. This was one side of the line voltage from the original capacitor because it has a common. So if you follow that wire, comes out down here, and it was tapped into this side of the line voltage here. So then all I had to do is take basically the white on each side, ran it here, ran both, and connected both there. I'm gonna leave it as original as I can, so we're connected to the same place that the old one was, because the old 2 line from the fan motors were right here, so now they're both right here on the same connection. And then the other ones were the blacks going up here to the relay, and we're good there. Everything's zip tied neatly as it can be. Now, as much as I would love to be blind to this. I know that this is loose and I don't have a blower. Damn it. I don't think I have a belt on me, so I'm just going to tighten it a little bit to get them by, and I'll recommend that. We do have maintenance coming up for these guys anyway, so too bad we don't have any spares. Alright, we should be good. We'll see if we have to jump it out. Okay, all the screws are back in. Wiring was put back. Didn't mess with anything else, I don't think so. Everything is back on the thermostat. Okay, it's calling. Alright, it wasn't calling, and I think this has either a bump start or a delay, so I'm gonna jump 2 stages on with the blower. We'll see how that goes. Okay, now everything comes on. Compressors came on, so we'll run it out for a little bit. Hopefully everything else is good. I don't want to have to charge anything else for today. It's a Friday. So that's the return side. This is the supply, so I can just quickly, since there's no hole there, quickly check it like that. Alright, so we are cooling pretty well. It's a hot kitchen. It's already getting hot out. The sun's out. That's my little makeshift bracket, but you know, they're not going anywhere. I didn't have any, or I can't find my hanging strap. That's how I usually screw these in or drill out what I need. So had to get creative, put in a strap that the old one had, zip tied the other end, and you know, it's not going anywhere. Doesn't look pretty, but whatever. And then I'll just go ahead and leave that there. My makeshift jumper. Now Robert Air Surgeon from Instagram actually makes a tool now that you can do this, and it's different kind of connections you can use, whether it's alligator clips or piercing tips or something, and then you have a little connection, a little handheld box here that you can flip on whichever one. Like this one, they're all going to be on together because they're just wire netted together, but that one has a switch for each wire, so that's kind of cool. It's called the Jumper King at Subco. I'm not sponsored, I don't have one or anything, but I just think it's a really cool tool, and maybe I'll get it so I can do that instead of this. But this works fine. It's 2 of the Subco hybrid jumpers, because they can be magnetic, but you know, these things are never made out of actual metal that you can put a magnet to, so they're also alligator clips. So then just clip on the ones that I need, which was R2, Y1 and Y2, and then the blower. So yeah, I'm gonna take off the jumper right now. It should stay on in a few minutes. We'll see if it stays on, and I'm gonna clean up, get all my trash out. We're pulling out a good amount of air. We're cooling. We're going down to 50 right now, so we're good. Oh, you guys are still here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Pretty straightforward and simple. 2 condenser fan motors. Almost started a fire. So I appreciate you guys for stopping in, watching the video all the way through. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys. Bam, we're at 49.